Welcome to the Wayfaring Panda. I'm Annette. Today I'm participating in a YouTube hop with the Card Hopping group from Facebook. Each month they have a hop where you're challenged to do a technique and also a theme. So today's theme is flowers and the technique is shaker card with either tulle or vellum. So I'm making a shaker card using vellum, and I'm starting with a piece of Bristol smooth cardstock, which I cut out with a Lawn Fawn rectangle die to have the stitch border around. And now I'm using a die from Lawn Fawn's Honeycomb Shaker gift tag to cut out 2 windows. Then I used my blending tool to apply some tumbled glass distress ink to the frames that the dies cut out. So I cut out this little frame as well as the window, and that's so that you can make a shaker tag, but I'm using it for a card. I'm also doing the blue because of the shaker bits that I'm going to be using has blue and yellow, so that'll be my color scheme. Next I'm using the Lawn Fawn Honeycomb stencil and some distress ink to decorate the front of my card panel, and I'm using the colors Mustard Seed and Wild Honey, and I wanted to use 2 shades because of course honey or a lot of things in nature are not just a solid color, so that'll give it a little bit more depth of color having different shades in it. Now these all originally came in a card kit from Lawn Fawn called the Hive 5 kit, but now most of this set is now sold individually, so if you didn't get it the first time when they came out with the card set, it is now available. At least all the ones that I'm using in this card today you can buy separately. And I also have another video I created using the set when I originally got it, so if you'd like some more ideas of using these different products, I will link that video at the end of this video. I'm just using some double-sided tape that I got from scrapbook.com to apply my vellum. I'm just putting it around the windows, and then I put it around the sides to make sure that it is held down firmly. I was afraid if I just put the tape around the sides that it would kind of cave in, so I wanted to make sure that the vellum was secure, and I'm just using a larger piece of vellum that will go behind the whole panel. Then I decided I should go ahead and do my sentiment before I build up my shaker card, otherwise it'll be hard to stamp on the card panel. So I'm using a sentiment from the Hive 5 stamp set from Lawn Fawn, which says, Happy B-Day. I'm out of birthday cards right now, so I need to stock up on making some more birthday cards. I'm just peeling off the backing of my tape and adhering my vellum to my card panel. And this is one of the first times I've used this tape. I just purchased it a month or 2 ago, and it's a lot less expensive than a lot of the other tapes of this type. That's the double-sided adhesive, and they also run sales on it quite a bit at scrapbook.com since it's their own brand. And they also sell it, I got this one in a 6-pack, so it's even less expensive. Now I have been using it in my class because I had all my preschoolers make some photo albums this year with some of the different special events. Since COVID had ended, we had a lot of parents coming in and like reading stories to their children or teaching them something special about a holiday that they celebrated or just doing different crafts with the kids. So we took pictures of those special events that occurred, and then I had them make photo albums, and I used this tape to tape them together. So it did hold up very well. I don't know how to do over time, but just to let you know, this tape does seem to work very well. Then I just used my Nuvo Deluxe glue to glue my frames into my little window, and I really liked how the vellum looks here. I don't think I've ever used vellum for a shaker card, but I really like how this is looking, and I'm pleased with how it turned out. Especially like the blue and yellow together. I hadn't really thought of that because normally on these honey or bee type cards you'd think just kind of yellow and black. Next I adhere some foam tape to the back of my card to make my shaker areas, and then I built up around the outside of the card as well as inside the card so that it is stable. Now, I didn't realize at first that this tape, it's actually called Express It tape. It is pretty bendable, so at first I was kind of cutting little pieces to go around, although the paper keeps coming off as you cut it. The other thing that I noticed is I had trouble cutting it, but I'm using just my cheaper pair of scissors. I do have a pair I usually use from Tim Holtz, which are non-stick ones, but we had a garage sale at my house and used all of our tables and all my craft stuff got moved. I thought I moved it all back, but I have not been able to find my scissors, so I'm really hoping they show up, and didn't end up in some box for stuff that didn't get sold or something like that. Who knows? Maybe it's with my mom's sewing stuff. I don't know, but I did look at her scissor box that she has, and it wasn't in there, so I'm not sure what happened to it. Now, the other thing is I don't use foam tape a lot, so I haven't used a lot of them to know how thick this is compared to some others, but I do know a lot of people double up their tape, their foam tape whenever they do make shakers so that it moves around more. I wasn't too worried about that because I'm using sequins, which are a little bit flatter, and seed beads. But I didn't want to go up too high because then it makes the card very bulky. So I'm just using one layer. Then I go around the inside of my shaker wells with my powder tool to get rid of the sticky that's on the tape. And that's important. You want to do that. Otherwise, all your sequins, seed beads, whatever you're using will stick to the inside of the tape. Then I'm just filling up my shaker wells with the sequin mix that came with the card kit. I don't know that they sell this. I will list it if they do. But it's just blue and kind of honey-colored sequins. And I think there's white sequins. And there's these little silver ones that look like they're shaped like flowers. And then I just use some clear seed beads. I cut out the blue paper for the back of my card panel with the largest Lawn Fawn rectangle die, so it's 5.5 by 4 1/4. And then, of course, I adhered that to the back of the foam tape. Now, I find that it's hard to line up, so if anybody has tricks on lining it up, I did have trouble with that. And also, you'll notice I'm trying to repair a little bit here. Some of the foam was sticking out into the window, so I tried to shove it back, but didn't do too well, so I'm also trying to use my scissors. Now we're moving on to one of my favorite steps, which is adding all the decorations and seeing the card come together. So I had cut out these honeycombs with glitter paper that had been backed with double-sided tape, and I used the die that came with the tag set. Also off screen, I added it to a card base, and I stamped the inside with the sentiment and added a stamp of the honey pot, which I used the gold distress ink. I think I used the wild honey one. All these decorations I made off screen so that the video wouldn't be super long. I just stamped all my images from the Hive 5 set with Lawn Fawn's jet black ink and colored them with Copic Markers. And then I stamped the inside of my card with a sentiment and used the distress ink to stamp the image of the honey pot. So now I'm just kind of figuring out where I want to put all the flowers, since this is a flower theme. So I just used some yellow and blue markers, and I really only used 2 shades of colors on all my things. So the ones that kind of look like daisies, those came from the Hive 5 set. And then the little ones, I don't know what they look like. Maybe they kind of look like daisies. I don't know. Buttercups. I colored those blue and yellow. I don't know that there's any flower that really is shaped like these that are blue, but it doesn't matter. It's art. It can be whatever we want. And I really like how the blue and yellow look together anyway. As you watch towards the end of the video, you'll see that I have trouble figuring out where I'm going to put all those little daisy things. So I thought I wanted to put them in clusters, but then after I started adding them all, I decided I really didn't like that many flowers on there because then you didn't see as much of the blue frame. So then I took them off. I always struggle with how much to embellish or how much not to embellish. So anyway, you'll see that I removed some of the flowers and then there's a little tear. So then I go over that on the frame with the tumbled glass again just to kind of get rid of the white part that I created. So I left that in just to show you that we all have mistakes and struggle in our card making, but I still really liked how the card turned out. I want to thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a like. And if you're not already a subscriber, I'd really appreciate if you can subscribe to the channel. As I mentioned earlier, this is part of a hop, so it's a hashtag-driven hop. You can just click the hashtag in the description below to find the other videos. Sometimes you have trouble finding videos that way, so we'll also try to create a list of all the participants in the description below. Please hop along and you'll get more inspiration of how to make shaker cards with tulle or vellum. And this is actually the first time that I made one with vellum, and I really like how it looks. So I think I'll be doing it more than I will be with the packaging or the clear acetate, because I really like this kind of muted look that the vellum gives. I'll also leave in the description a list of all the products that I use so that if you want any of these products, you can find it. Some of these will be affiliate links. They don't cost you anything extra to use the links, but I do get a small commission from any sales that those links generate. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day.